When I started, I was rejected from KFC. I was rejected from the police force. Can you believe that? Those are the exact words of Jack Ma, literally one of the most successful entrepreneurs of our time. Listen, I wanted to kick things off with this quote because it completely shatters this massive illusion we all walk around with. We naturally tend to think that extraordinary, world-changing success demands some kind of special background, right? Like a wealthy family or some elite Ivy League education. But it just doesn't. If you have ever felt ordinary, or if you've been dealing with a string of rejections, you are actually sitting in the absolute perfect starting position.
Welcome to today's explainer. Our goal right off the bat is super direct. We are taking abstract advice and transforming it into a concrete, aggressive playbook for your 2026. We're drawing entirely from Jack Ma's highly visual, almost punchy mental models. By the time we wrap up, you're going to walk away with a structured, rock-solid system to completely rewire how you handle your time, your energy, and inevitable failures in the upcoming year.
Okay, let's dive straight into this. Here is your exact survival map for personal transformation this year. We're going to systematically blast through 6 concepts: the myth of being ordinary, gold bars versus bananas, catching your one rabbit, hacking time and failure, protecting your energy account, and finally, the 1% staircase. Let's get right to it.
Section 1. The myth of being ordinary. Why pain and struggle are your actual fuel.
Look, 2026, it's not a year for the elite. It is a year for the hungry. If you're feeling stuck or hurting right now, guess what? That struggle is literally your fuel. But to actually use it effectively, we have to dodge this massive fatal trap, the combination of big dreams and small habits. You know exactly what I'm talking about. People who possess these massive, world-changing goals, but have absolutely zero daily systems to back them up. Dreams are completely free, but habits, those require daily payments. Moving right along to Section 2, gold bars versus bananas, discipline versus cheap pleasure. This first major metaphor from our source material brilliantly illustrates how human brains are just hardwired for immediate, cheap rewards. Think about it. If you put a gold bar and a banana in front of a monkey, what happens? The monkey grabs the banana every single time. It has no idea the gold bar could buy like 1,000 bananas later. And honestly, most people are the monkey. We choose the banana, we scroll TikTok for 4 hours, we complain, or we hit snooze until noon. But the gold bar, that represents the hard discipline everybody else runs away from. If you give up the cheap pleasure today, you can literally own the plantation tomorrow.
So how on earth do we stop this banana behavior? Well, you cannot rely on your heart. Your heart is emotional, it's unpredictable, and it gets tired. Instead, you've got to rely on a strict system. Every Sunday night, you enter Step 1, decision time. You sit down and lock in exactly when you eat, when you work, and when you learn. Then comes Step 2, action time. From Monday to Saturday, you operate like an absolute machine. You don't wake up on Tuesday morning and ask yourself, do I feel like working today? You just do the work. Honestly, if your week isn't thoroughly planned out by Sunday night, you've already lost that week.
All right, Section 3, catching your one rabbit, the power of unreasonable focus.
Let's take that strict discipline and apply it to a super distracted world. Ask yourself this. If there are 9 rabbits darting around a field and you try to chase 3 of them at the exact same time, how many are you going to catch? Think about how often people do this, starting a month saying, I'm going to learn AI, learn to code, start a channel, and lose weight, all in 30 days.
The answer is 0. Scattered efforts catch absolutely 0 rabbits. The playbook insists that you must pick one skill, just one rabbit, and go after it with an unreasonable amount of volume. Repetition is the mother of skill, guys. And competence is what actually leads to confidence. True confidence doesn't magically appear from morning affirmations. It comes from putting your head down and finishing the job over and over again.
Next up, Section 4, hacking time and failure, the 24-hour timer and inverse time.
Let's be super realistic for a second. Failure in 2026 is inevitable. Some projects are just going to die. But here's the secret. While failure is guaranteed, endless suffering is entirely optional. Consider this 24-hour timeline. At 0 hours, the project completely crashes and burns. For the next 23 hours, you are fully allowed to be sad, be furious, stay in bed, whatever you need. But the very second that timer hits 0, it's over. You extract the lesson and you immediately move on. Solving problems is what makes you the hero, not suffering over them for weeks on end. Now, what's really fascinating is how this ties into everyday productivity through something called inverse time. Check this out.
If you allot 30 days to clean your house, you're going to obsess over the decorations, right? And it will take exactly 30 days. But give yourself 3 hours, and you're forced to focus solely on action, and it gets done in 3 hours. It really proves that perfectionism is often just a fancy word for procrastination. I'm telling you, the person who finishes 10 projects poorly and then fixes them is light years ahead of the person still endlessly planning one perfect project.
To back these points up with some psychology, let's talk about your locus of control. Having an external locus basically means you believe you're a passenger in life. You're crying because the driver's going the wrong way, and you blame the economy or your boss. But an internal locus, that means you know you are the driver. Even if the road is completely broken, you find a way around it. So in 2026, when things go wrong, and they will, do not look out the window to find someone to blame. Look right in the mirror. Blaming others just gives away your power. Blaming yourself keeps the power to change things right in your own 2 hands.
Moving to Section 5, protect your energy account. Focus is your ultimate currency.
We all obsessively check our bank accounts, right? But your energy is your actual ultimate currency. You could have $1 million in the bank, but if you wake up constantly exhausted from arguing with random strangers on the internet, you are bankrupting your soul. Get this, here is a genuinely shocking statistic from our source. Your brain literally loses 20% of its processing power every single time you switch tasks. 20%! Bouncing from work, to a text message, to social media, it's just heavily bleeding your energy dry.
This stark contrast right here really says it all. On the left side, we have the light bulb. Its energy is scattered everywhere, so all it can do is give off this weak little glow. But on the right, the laser. It possesses 100% focused energy, and because of that intense focus, it can effortlessly cut through solid steel. You have got to stop switching tasks and scattering your energy. Protect it like it's gold. In 2026, you must do one thing at a time. Become the laser.
All right, our final section, Section 6, the 1% staircase, small promises and massive results.
It seems like ordinary people are constantly out there hunting for this massive, overnight quantum leap. But truly wise people, they just want consistent, deliberate steps. We're talking tiny choices here, choosing 15 minutes of actual reading instead of doom scrolling, pushing yourself to make just one extra phone call, waking up at 6 a.m. instead of 6:15 a.m. Success is not some big, dramatic movie scene. It's found entirely in these tiny, micro-daily habits that separate the winners from everybody else.
And the sheer math behind this concept is absolutely wild. If you manage to get just 1% better every single day, by the end of 2026, you will be 37 times better than you are right now. 37 times. But remember the flip side of that. If you get 1% worse every day, you essentially drop to 0. Stop looking for the massive leap. Just look for the very next tiny step.
Which brings us to a really profound realization about self-trust. The biggest lie you've been told is that respect is earned from others. No, respect is earned from yourself. Think about it. Every single time you tell yourself, hey, I'm going to work out today, or I'm going to work on my business, but then you just sit and binge Netflix instead, you are lying to the absolute most important person in your life. You lose self-respect. And honestly, if you can't even trust your own word, why on earth should the rest of the world trust you? So here is my final challenge and push for you. Act your way into readiness. Please, do not sit around waiting for 2026 to magically make you feel ready. It's not going to happen. Make small promises to yourself and actually keep them. Action breeds readiness. When you build up that internal self-trust, it completely changes how you walk, how you talk, and it naturally makes people want to follow you. You just have to get out there, lock onto your rabbit, and execute your plan. I want to wrap up by leaving you with this final, provocative question. In 2026, are you going to be the leaf blowing in the wind, just completely at the mercy of distractions and whatever external forces hit you? Or are you going to be the wind? Take this playbook, build your systems, focus your energy like a laser, and get in the driver's seat. The choice is 100% up to you.